Thanks for talking for my audience. I thank to you your few minutes for my people. So I got just one question for you. Now that some manufacturers, some IT companies, and some technological companies like Samsung, for example, and other companies like Google are trying to make virtual reality and 2D reality easier for the whole public, and they are manufacturing items like virtual reality cameras, but very easy to use. So we could see in your conference that virtual reality is not a joke. Is not so easy to project. What do you think about this kind of devices that can make it more easy for people? Is good? Is bad? Is okay?
Yeah, I think virtual reality devices that are made for the public are awesome, and I think that it's a real challenge to kind of wrap your head around making virtual reality, but I think that you need to start somewhere, and I think that things that are made by Samsung, and I've used even the Samsung Gear 360, they are really great starting points, and I think you can now edit within a lot of the software that people traditionally use to edit, and it's really giving people those building blocks in order to sort of think about the bigger projects that they might tackle once they have a budget or start to get to know the technology a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. There are cameras that were meant for people, ordinary people, that now they are used in cinema movies in order to film because they can keep cost low. Do you think that can happen in a not very far future for virtual reality for you and other professionals, perhaps with these forays of Samsung and Google and so on, or do you think that for virtual reality this is not possible?
I think it's definitely possible. I think these small cameras being an entry point for everybody are making it easier for more people to use it, and I think that the style of films are going to change. Right now, all of these big companies are making these devices so that people see the best of the best. So it gets them excited about what you can make. But I think this style of films, like indie films, and the indie films that are going to be made on these devices, are going to democratize how films are made. So, I mean, I'm working with a bunch of artists at the moment on a whole bunch of projects which really only need the base model of consumer products like the Gear 360, and the output is great, and it's kind of only getting better. With every single iteration of these products, you really get this, I don't know, I think you get this film that is completely worthy of festival, entering into a festival, which is great. And I think festivals are becoming a little bit more accepting for the kinds of films that are made. I mean, even if you see brands like the UN and a whole bunch of other companies are getting people and new filmmakers to make things with these devices. And the more that they do, they have these mini film festivals, the more that they do, the more people get excited about the fact that they could probably make something too. And once that happens, then adoption will increase. I think it's a really good thing.
But have a look, for example, to mobile phones. So there are many photographers that they are saying that the democratization is also a kind of banalization. So that was the sense of my question.
Yeah, I see.
So do you think the same or not? Do you think this is very far from virtual reality today, or not? Everything is going too fast, and we will keep to that point of the mobile phones and the cameras with the virtual reality in the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing to be feared from the democratization of access to this medium. I think Yes, mobile phones, in the opinion of photographers, has sort of opened the market up and just filled the market with all this terrible stuff. But that's the way it's always been, you know. And photographers aren't the first people to have experienced that. Fine art, you can pick up a paintbrush and paint a terrible painting and sell it at a fete or whatever. And I think that photography was the next victim because the quality of the equipment that everybody got, changed the game. And then the accessibility of film cameras definitely affects cinematographers. But I think that if you're good at that craft, then it doesn't matter, you know. And I think that the more people that use something and the more advanced the technology gets and the more advanced the thinking gets from everyday person, the better off the industry will be, because people will have something to grab onto and they'll start making something, and even if it's rough, by the time that they turn into a professional and they make that, then they've at least been allowed a chance to learn, as opposed to having to build a career and then jump in with a $350,000 project.
Some years ago, Raghu Rai told me that even with a mobile phone camera, you need the photographer's eye to do a good work.
Sure.
Do you think the same with cinema and your kind of work?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's the thing. I think with art in general and artistic expression, you need a certain eye for it to be good. And I think that it doesn't hurt people getting it wrong. I think that there's certainly talent and creative ability that gets things right, but there's also a lot of examples of people not necessarily thinking that they had that, but they eventually learn it. I'd just say people who are going to be good at this and have sort of that innate talent are going to be better at it than normal people, for sure. So therefore, talented people shouldn't be threatened too much by the situation.
You were using at the stage one very small camera. You told us that keep your arms up and I will take the photograph. So, or the movie. I think it was a movie maker. So it was very small.
Yeah.
So it's just for professionals, or is one of those devices that can anyone get?
Yeah, so I was using a Theta S. It's a small 360 camera in order to take film and take photos during the presentation, and it's something that's available to everybody. And I didn't even know about it until I got given it as a gift from the production company I was working with, and it's so easy to use, and I use it specifically not to necessarily make films, even though I could. I use it as a really helpful means to scout locations and see what things look like in 360. It's really important.
It's your personal combo, your personal testing camera.
Yeah, you really need to kind of test those things out. I think, you can make really cool films with it. I mean, I have got some really cool films that are like films that I've never seen before, and you can also watch them in particular viewers, and you're scrolling around and you can format them in particular ways that just blow your mind. It's like a special effects that you never really before you could actually pull.
Can you share directly from the camera?
Yeah, so that can beam straight to your phone and you can see what it looks like and you can scroll around. Or it can beam to your computer or anything like that, but it's pretty amazing. Yeah. And I think, even to your point before also, that there's going to be so many more YouTube films that are just terrible to watch, but there's a lot of normal films that are terrible to watch, and it's just a matter of the good ones rising to the top.
You said during the presentation, and that was a message for professionals and also for clients, for brands. It is not necessary going with virtual reality just because you can't do it. So would you say the same thing to the people that they are using that sort of cameras or devices so easy to use, and ordinary people, so
yeah,
would you say the same or not? Why?
I would say for the normal user, as far as picking up a 360 camera and filming something, the only way they're going to find out whether or not it's worthy or not without any training is by doing it. And I definitely say that's always worth doing. I think that the warning more so is, I think that it's okay to ask yourself the question about, is this really interesting? And I think that we've been asked that question a million times about people who are filming 360 things at work. And I think that the answer is, if it's not interesting in real life, it's not going to be interesting on a 360 camera. So I think that the warning more so about really listening to whether or not it's worthwhile making a film goes out to people who are in production and who are actually throwing money at it. Especially if, like, you know, the budget's huge or, you know, brands are doing it, and if they're going to spend that money and a production company is going to go to the effort of actually making that thing, and all of those people are going to be spending endless nights planning something, then it definitely helps to ask that question first of, is this story better told in this medium?
So my question was directed to that point of sharing, because there are many social networks now, and people used to share photographs, normal photographs, but also they can share their videos, you know. And if many people is doing so not so good work with virtual reality, for example, because they have a camera, they can do it, but they don't take care, you know. I feel that perhaps there's a risk of getting bored about all that stuff. So for the professional, I think this is not so good, because if people is bored, they will not keep attention. They will not keep an eye on what you are doing for brands. So because it's so much stuff not so good, and they get over the top. So that was the question.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I mean, I think there's always a risk of only seeing bad things leading you to the conclusion that the entire industry is bad. But you don't have, with VR, it's so difficult to watch. You know, you have to like download it, put it on a headset, plug it into your phone. That you traditionally aren't just watching anything anyway, you know, and you don't have access to, I mean, originally there's a lot of really bad stuff out there just because the industry was emerging, but at the moment you really choose the films that you see, and usually that's because they're recommended or they're on something or they're interactive or something, and I feel as though the market will definitely become flooded for sure with all sorts of content, because there's also so many production companies that are coming out of the woodwork who are going to make bad stuff. But there's a million indie filmmakers making a bunch of terrible short films and terrible features, but does that stop the rest of the industry from making amazing ones? I don't think so.
So summarizing, competition will make the selection.
Yeah, exactly. Like, natural competition is going to always be there, and that is what is going to bring all of the amazing films to the top. All of the festivals will show all of the latest and greatest, and I think that, yeah, you know, all boats rise with the tide. You know, we all benefit the more practice everybody else gets.
So thanks a lot for your time, and I hope this is not the only time, the latest time we get in touch in order to have an interview or make contact. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.